one. This is Zach Wellman with MD Roofing. Today we are going to be doing a repair at 1026 Linda Drive in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We had a windstorm that came through and it caused some damage to this roof. As you can see right here, we have some tabs that have blown off from that windstorm. So we are going to be replacing this shingle with our new one right here. So in order to do that, we need to unseal the damaged shingle. There's a laminate strip at the bottom. We have to unseal the 2 rows above it, and that's in order to get to the nails that are fastening this shingle. So we will unseal those. We will remove the nails and remove the shingle, insert the new shingle, and then refasten with new nails. And the whole time I am going to be trying to be as careful as possible, bending this up as little as I can. This is an older roof, so we're going to try not to damage any of the other shingles and just replace this one right here. So let's go ahead and get started. Shingles are unsealed. Now let's get the nails. You can see that just from lifting this up, this shingle above, not one part of the initial repair, this tab actually became separated from the tab below it. So this may or may not glue back down. It looks like there might be a little bit of material transfer between these 2 strips, but this is a tab that is not a shingle that's part of our repair. Again, this is the shingle we're going to repair. So the first nail has been removed. We'll continue. Right here, as you can see, when I unsealed this shingle above it, right here there's significant material transfer. So this is where the laminate strip on the shingle above actually glued so hard to this shingle that it pulled some of the shingle up with it as it was unsealed. Now this presents an issue because when we insert our new shingle right here, this old one will have to laminate and glue to it. But if it has a piece of this shingle below, it will not stick properly. So when we put this new shingle in here, the shingle above is not going to laminate and stick to it as it should and what its intended function is for. Once again, you can see this tab has become separated from the shingle. This shingle, actually our damaged one, has become completely delaminated from the one above it. So this is not our whole shingle, but this is the laminate portion of our architectural shingle. So we have to continue in order to remove the top piece of the shingle, which is right here. Again, lifting the shingle up only as much as I need in order to remove the fastened nail. Alright, so coming closer, as you can see right here, this is another shingle that's not part of the initial repair. This second one above, you can see a tear right here, just from my thumb on here lifting it up minimally in order to identify the nail. So right here, next one. Same thing, you can see some tearing on the outside of the shingle. Again, this is not part of our repair. This shingle right here is the one that we're repairing that was damaged from wind. These are 2 shingles that are not part of the repair that have now been damaged as a result of us attempting this. We'll continue. All right, last one. Once again, this tab has become delaminated. All right, looks like we missed one up here. There we go. All right, so this is the top piece of our shingle. All right, so now that we have removed that old shingle, we will insert our new one. appears that the lengths on these shingles do not quite line up. This is an industry standard shingle right here. This is the Certainty Landmark, but it appears this older shingle is not quite the same dimensions. So as you can see on the edges, I have this one butted up entirely, but over here there's a slight bit of an overlap. So that will present an issue if we have another windstorm that comes through. This laminate will, or this glue strip at the bottom will not adhere properly to the shingle below it because there's this little gap that's right here. So it will be more susceptible to wind. Now, we're still going to continue with the repair as is because this is what we have. All right. So now the shingle is in place. We will begin fastening it. Once again, I am going to lift the shingle above as little as possible, just enough to get my hammer in there. As you can see, this tab has come off of the shingle next to it. Again, this is a shingle that's not part of our initial repair. First row of nails has been fastened. We'll continue with the second row. Our new shingle has now been fastened into place, and we can now inspect the area. So, as mentioned during the repair, we have a couple of issues that we need to address. The first is that these tabs, these laminate additional tabs on top of these shingles, have become unglued and unstuck while lifting up these above shingles in order to insert our new one. So these tabs may or may not re-adhere, but as we can see from the shingle that we just replaced, that was what the damage was on this shingle, is that these laminate tabs on top of the shingle blew off from the wind. So now that these are unsealed, this may prevent or pose a further issue in the future when we have another windstorm where these may blow off. The second issue is the condition of the shingles themselves. As you can see in a few spots, just from my thumb lifting them up as small as possible to identify where those nails were, this shingle tore in multiple areas. Now, this is a shingle that is not part of our initial scope, which is the key here. In attempts to replace this shingle, we damaged this shingle, as well as this one, and also the one to the right here as well. So, on top of all that, the dimensions of the shingle do not match up either. So, we may or may not be able to find a matching shingle, but this one certainly will not fit. So, in summary, with all of those variables at play here, it is my professional recommendation that this roof is not repairable. We've caused further damage to the shingles around them that are not part of the repair, and from that, this roof is now at further risk.